A recent Redfin report showed that 56,000 real estate contracts were canceled in the month of June. That's the highest number of cancellations in any June on record. Some fear that this could be the beginning of a collapsing housing market. I'm going to dive into this article today and get more details to find out as to why are these people pulling out of buying these homes. But I'll tell you, it all basically comes down to one thing. Homes are just getting too damn expensive. In Redfin's latest report, it showed 5 markets. Now, it's not across the entire country, but there were 5 markets where these 56,000 contracts were canceled. And some pretty interesting information in this article that I found. House hunters are having trouble committing because buying a home is more expensive than ever. The median home sale price rose 4% year over year to a record $442,525 in June. The average interest rate on a 30-year mortgage was 6.92%. While that's down slightly from the 7.06% from the prior month, it's still more than double the all-time low hit during the pandemic. Buyers are getting more and more selective. They're backing out due to minor issues because the monthly costs associated with buying a home today are just too high to rationalize not getting everything on their must-have list. So I get it. People can't justify spending all of this money after they go through an inspection and they see that there's all these problems or even minor problems. And they're thinking, why am I spending all this money? And, the house isn't all that great. There's some minor things wrong with it that could potentially lead to bigger problems. So I understand that thought process. It's all about justifying spending that money. Now, as I said in the beginning, there were 5 markets specifically where these cancellations happened. Now, 3 of those markets were in Florida, and I'm not surprised. We all know Florida is seeing a lot of things going on right now. The affordability is getting out of control there, that people are now leaving the state because it's just getting too darn expensive. In Orlando, there were 900 home purchase agreements that were canceled in June. That was 20.8% of the homes that went under contract were canceled. Think about that. 21% of all the homes that went under contract, 21% of them were canceled. That was the highest percentage among the 50 most populous U.S. metropolitan areas. The next city in Florida was Jacksonville. They had 20.5% of contracts canceled. Tampa had the same, 20.5%. Las Vegas was 20.2%, and San Antonio came in at 19.9% of cancellations. We're seeing nightmare scenarios where deals are getting canceled at the last minute for the most minute reasons. This came from a Redfin Premier agent in Miami, and he went on to say that roughly 2,500 home purchases were canceled in June. So that was 17.6% of homes that went under contract. He went on to say that buyers often back out during the inspection period because they find something they don't like, but affordability is really the underlying issue. I don't want my buyers to be surprised by all the expenses that come with owning a home in Florida. So I advise them to proactively research the hefty cost of insurance, property taxes, and HOA fees, in addition to the cost of their mortgage payment. I just have to say good on you to this Redfin agent, Rafael Corrales. Thank you for doing right by your clients. This is what we should be doing. The last 4 years, it was pure mayhem, and everyone was focused on getting that offer accepted, doing whatever you could to get that offer accepted, waiving inspections, waiving appraisals. That's not happening anymore. People are really feeling the pressure of how expensive it is to own a home, and to be educating your clients, to have them research everything, to look at the costs, like really look at it in detail to make sure they're going to be able to afford this. Good on you. Good on you. Agents need to be doing more of this because this is getting so out of control with how expensive the homes are. And you got the property taxes and the homeowners insurance that keeps increasing. And I've talked about this in prior videos. You've heard me say this, that, people are buying their homes and they see their mortgage payment and they see the principal and interest. And they said, oh, that's not going to change for the life of the loan. But they're forgetting to take into account the property taxes and the homeowners insurance. In some cases, people have seen their taxes skyrocket in a matter of a couple of years, and now they're having trouble affording that monthly payment. Now, this agent's located in Florida. Florida is a whole other animal right now as far as buying a home. As you all know, and I've talked about this, that the condos in Florida are becoming a big issue because Florida just passed this state law that requiring condo buildings to build up reserves to be able to fund structural inspections that are going to be held by the state. So now you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in assessments are being slapped on homeowners. It's out of control. So people who are going in to buy one of these condos, they really need to be educated and know what they're walking into and know exactly how much these HOA fees are, what the assessments are. They're backing away. I understand that. I can see why they would back away. It's just a lot of money. Another key point that was brought up in this Redfin article was about price cuts that had happened across the country in the month of June. Nearly 1 in 5 sellers dropped their asking price as homes sat on the market. This is the highest June rate on record. Another record for June. Roughly 1 in 5, 19.8% of homes for sale in June had a price cut. That's the highest level of any June on record. That's up from 14.4% a year earlier, and it's just shy of the 21.7% record high set in October of 22. Some sellers are reducing their prices because their homes are sitting on the market and getting stale, the result of an ongoing affordability crisis impacting buyers. The typical home that sold in June spent 32 days on the market, the longest of any June since 2020. That's up 3 days from a year earlier, the biggest annual increase since last summer. Listings are piling up as a result. Active listings or the total number of homes for sale were little changed from a month earlier, but jumped 12.8% from a year earlier, the largest annual gain on record. So again, guys, we're seeing things shift. They're not huge shifts, but I think this is the beginning of what's to come. Are we headed towards a collapse? Personally, I hope not. I hope not, but it could be just a steep correction that we're headed towards right now. So the bottom line as to why all this is happening, canceled contracts, price reductions, it's because buyers are stressing out. As I just said before, they can't afford this anymore. I just wanted to take a quick second to let you know that if you are in need of a real estate agent in your part of the country and you can't find one, click the link down below in the description box, fill out the form, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. I'm connected to tons of agents around this country, and I would be happy to help get you connected to one in your market. So here's some little facts for you. In the United States today, one needs to make 6 figures to be able to afford a home at the median price of $402,000. There was an analysis done by Bankrate, and they said Americans need to have an annual income of $110,871 to be able to afford a $402,000 house. Insane. In New Jersey, residents need to make $152,186 annually in order to afford a $500,000 home in this state. It's just out of control. And what's really out of control is that salary is a 45% increase from 2020. So back in 2020, the annual income you needed in New Jersey was $104,986. Oh my God. Another thing that I wanted to bring up is that starter homes are getting out of control with their prices. Zillow did a report. They found that there were 237 cities in this country where $1 million starter homes are the norm. Yes. And guess what? New Jersey is one of those states that has cities with starter homes that cost $1 million. And I've seen it firsthand. This is what people are spending on starter homes. Don't panic. This isn't happening across the entire country. There's just a handful of states. So in this report from Zillow, where are all these states where you have $1 million starter homes? Number 1 was California. California has 117 cities in the state with $1 million starter homes. Next was New York. New York had 31 cities with $1 million starter homes. And next was good old New Jersey. We had 21. And Florida and Massachusetts round out the top 5 with, they had 11 cities each with $1 million starter homes. $1 million starter homes. I can't believe it. I can't believe this is what it's come to. Is that ever going to change? I don't know. I don't know if prices will come down enough where it's going to be well below $1 million for a starter home. But but this is only in these states. If you're living in a different part of the country, or maybe you want to look into relocating to another more affordable part of the country where you can get a starter home at a more normal price, that's something you may want to consider. So 56,000 canceled contracts in the month of June. I think that's a sign of things to come. And maybe we will see more of that in the next few months, maybe to the end of the year. It's very possible, especially if these mortgage rates don't come down. The Fed is talking about possibly in September, they are going to do a rate cut, which could bring mortgage rates down. But we all know what happens when you don't have enough inventory and the rates are low and there's a lot of demand. Prices could go back up again. But I really hope that it's not like we had experienced the last 4 years. I really hope that we do see more of a correction in these high home prices and more people can get into a home. It's just so out of control. And I just wish it would all come to an end. Honestly, I'm a real estate agent and I'm saying this, but it's just really gotten out of control. Hey, and if you want to know more about what's going on in this housing market and about how the housing bubble is about to burst, you can watch this video right over here. I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching me today to get your dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker, and I will see you next time.